This conference will now be recorded.
Welcome back to my tutorial. So in last session, we have discussed about what is Einstein Analytics and how to navigate and what are the different components available for Einstein Analytics. And also we saw the overview data manager, how we can monitor the jobs, how we can manage the data flow and receives, and how we can um, see the notifications and connect everything. So in this section, we'll discuss in more detail about data source. So what is data source in my Einstein Analytics? So Einstein Analytics, when as I said in previous session, we have stored the data within the platform system. The first point we discussed already. Let me make it on quick for your review. So in the Einstein Analytics, data stored in the platform itself. First point. Okay. So now we'll see how we can get data into Einstein Analytics. My data may be in the Salesforce local database, or my data may be in the external database. So we'll see how to get data into Einstein Analytics. That means how to get data into the platform itself, data into Einstein Analytics. Okay. So as you discussed already, the Einstein Analytics is a platform itself which holds or stores all the data. So we have to define the data flow can be flowed from multiple sources. That may be from local Salesforce platform, or it can be from external data source. So nothing but your data may be stored in some external database. From there I can get, or it can get from the external Salesforce system also. External Salesforce system, or it can be from external database. When I say external Salesforce, what does it mean? Now, my Einstein Analytics on this org I have. I may have another Salesforce org where I do not have Einstein Analytics, but I want to get data of that org to analyze. So I can get data from external Salesforce system, or this local Salesforce system, or from external data sources. So how this data flow can be flowed from multiple sources. It may be local Salesforce, external Salesforce, and external database. How this data going to flow from the multiple data sources, that we will see. Data flow from multiple data sources. Okay. Sources can be anything. So Einstein Analytics makes it possible to get data from multiple data sources, but if you need to get data from external system, it may be also external Salesforce. We have to enable the sync. Okay, so first thing remember, if sync is not enabled, then you may not get data from external source. Whenever you want to get data from external source, which may be Salesforce, or which may be any other database, your sync should be enabled to get data. If your sync is not enabled, then your connect option will not come. I'll show you that. Okay. So once the sync is enabled, we'll get the options to add external data. It may be from any other enterprise applications, from any warehouse, or any database services, from anywhere we can get. Okay, and the data what we are going to load into Einstein Analytics will be stored as data set. Okay, so let me make a point here. Data loaded into Einstein Analytics will be stored as data sets. Okay, these are the primary factor. So now we will see how I'm going to get data into Einstein Analytics. So my data may be reside in multiple sources. So how I'm going to manage to get the data from multiple sources. Okay. So let me say how to getting the data into Einstein Analytics. What are the options we have to get data from Einstein Analytics? Okay. So now, so data set in Einstein Analytics are the result of importing data into the platform itself. maybe that local data, local Salesforce data, maybe external Salesforce data, or any external data, including CSV file also, or any other databases. So that's nothing but my data set. So whatever data I'm going to load in my Einstein Analytics platform, that are nothing but my data sets. Okay, data sets in Einstein Analytics are the result of importing data from different sources. The source can be local Salesforce data, external Salesforce data, or it may be some external database also. Okay, for the data you are importing, that all are my data sets. Okay, and the loading of data from any sources to Einstein Analytics, you can, you like, if you want, you could automate it, or you could schedule it, or you can do it manually. So there are multiple ways you can automate the loading activity of data from different sources to Einstein Analytics platform, or you can schedule it to run at a specific time, or you can manually also load data into Einstein Analytics. So how we are going to do it? So now let's log into Salesforce and let me show you. If you go to Analytics Studio, there are the multiple options. Okay, where you can create my data set. If you go to Analytics Studio, the applications from app launcher, if you go to this app launcher, from app launcher, if you go to application Analytics Studio, okay, this can be, these options will be available based on what licenses you have and the user having associated that license or not. Okay, so now what you do, see, there is a create option we have. Okay, so in the Einstein Analytics Studio, if you go to create, there is option is a data set. Okay, see, there is some more options called app, dashboard, story, multiple things is there. We'll discuss later. But let's see. Whenever I want to create a data set, so what is data set? Data set nothing but the result of importing data from different sources. What you see here. Okay. So if you want to create a data set, go to Einstein Analytics Studio app. Then go to create options here. You can see. Then click on the create. Then you get data set. Once you get data set, we get different options here. Okay, so what are the sources we can find out the data set? So go to Einstein Analytics Studio application. Then in there, in the right side, you see there is a create button. With that create, you create the data set. Once you create data set, then you get option of loading data from CSV file, from Salesforce data, from external data, or from your existing data sets. Okay, multiple options we have. So if you see, we have like CSV file, Salesforce data, from what are the sources I can get my data. Okay, and you see external data. Okay, and also you can see option called your data sets. We'll see each one by one how I'm going to get it. Okay, so there are different sources where I can go, where we can get the data here. Okay, so apart from that, there will be one more options which we call source, can be one more options which we call from a Salesforce report. Okay, there is a specific settings we have to set so that I'll get, with this list of options, we'll get one more option says Salesforce data. I'll talk about that. So CSV file, in the sense, whenever your data you maintain in your CSV file, that CSV file you can upload in the system to create my data set. Okay, Salesforce data nothing but we create a data set from Salesforce object using the data set builder and data flow. I'll show you this also. Then we can connect to data in supported enterprise applications or data warehouse and database services from this external data. So data set, in the sense, prepare and combine data in data set using recipe and create a data set with this result. We'll see how we're doing from the data set. And apart from that, we will have one more options which we call a Salesforce report. So when we create data set, we can check if Salesforce environment has train report data in analytics permissions. So there is a specific permission we have. We have trained report data in analytics. So I'll set these permissions. I'll show you when I'll come to these specific places. Okay, some kind of permissions which we have to send. If you set that permissions, we will get one more sources to create data set that's called a Salesforce report. Okay, we'll show this. So these are the different kind of options where we can create my data set, or from where I can import data to my Einstein Analytics platform. Okay, so let's go one by one. How to manage from the CSV file, how to manage from the local Salesforce data or external Salesforce data, or how I can get data from external data. All these options we'll see in the next sessions. When we'll start with the CSV file, we'll generate a CSV file, and that CSV file data will upload into our Einstein Analytics platform, which will create a data set. We'll see that in the next session, how we are going to do it. Thank you. Stay tuned for next session.